Hi, it's Scott Griffin reaching out, and I thought it would be really important for us to go through some of the big changes since the mortgage meltdown. This is a 7-part series, and I can't wait to share it with you. Well, here we are, part 6 of series 7, where we're going to talk about the ability to repay law and the qualified mortgage rule. Remember, before the crisis, lenders made loans available to consumers, and can you believe some lenders made loans to you and I as a consumer by asking us to leave sections within the loan application completely blank. You know, those crazy sections that talk about employment. Oh, just leave that blank. Oh, and that silly question about income? Well, let's leave that blank too. And when the question would come up asking us about assets and the money we had in the bank, well, guess what we did? That's right, we left it blank. So you can kind of start seeing how we landed where we did in the mortgage crisis. If I leave everything blank, well, how do I know you have the ability to repay? You and I might call that blind lending, where they didn't want to look, they just wanted to give the money. Do you know what I love about now? The blind lending will never happen again. The ability to repay became a law. In fact, a requirement that anytime you and I go to buy a house with the bank's mortgage, the bank must do 8 steps to validate that you and I actually have the ability to repay the loan. So that means that we'll never, ever, ever be able to lend money this way ever again. So it doesn't invite the opportunity to ever repeat. You see, the lenders have to pay attention to what you earn. They got to ask whether or not you work. They've got to look at all of your debt. They've got to look at debt that lives outside of the mortgage. There's so much that has to be paid attention to that the chances of us repeating the before have been removed. Because remember, I can't lend blindly again. I have to look and validate that you actually have the ability to repay the mortgage. So that's a law, not a choice. But something else came alongside of it called the qualified mortgage rule, and that is a choice. However, for many of us as home buyers, almost always we will achieve what they call a qualified mortgage. What that means for you and I as the consumer is that the loan that we achieve from the lender, once it's classified a qualified mortgage, it means that you and I are never going to overpay for that loan. Because for the loan to become qualified, it means that it has to meet very specific requirements on the charges and fees that the lender charges you and I as a consumer, making sure that they don't try to overcharge us on the loan that we're qualifying for. That's why it's called the qualified mortgage rule. What's in it for the lenders is a protection. God forbid you and I are not able to make our mortgage payments and we go into foreclosure. One of those strategies in the past to avoid foreclosure was to sue the lender in exchange for stating that they didn't validate I could afford to buy the house. Any lender that delivers a mortgage to you and I under a qualified mortgage rule gets a protection. They get a get out of jail free card, meaning they don't have to defend that lawsuit. Lenders love that. So even though it's not a requirement, Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, FHA, and VA require all loans to be delivered in a qualified mortgage setting, meaning that the loan you and I are going to get most likely is going to become a qualified mortgage. I thought that was important for you to know about. Boy, a lot of yesterday is completely rewritten so that as we move forward today and tomorrow, we're going to do so in a much safer environment. Heck, I love the name of the law itself called the SAFE Act. It invites a new level of security and safety to the real estate market space, and I knew it was important for you to know about this. I can't wait to visit with you directly. What a great time to schedule a call so that we can review, your home ownership and design your success within it. I can't wait to visit directly.